4 degrees. It's already got to 25 degrees, so I'm going to take the win. I really am. Barbara was at 24, and, well, our on-air producer was at 27 today, so, no, I'm going to take the win. It is Wednesday, middle of the week, 11th of September, and I tell you what, let me do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and so very, very happy to have you. Tell you what, if you're a first-time listener, viewer, got to say listener, viewer, because we're on live on air as well, why not do this? Why not subscribe, become part of the family? We call it The Noise here at Galaxy, simply because, well, you do have a voice, and we hear you. We take notice, we really do. In fact, that's pretty much how we structure a lot of our shows here at Galaxy, is by who you ask for, artist and track. Believe me, it works, it really does. And one person can make a difference, really, really can. But in the meantime, Barbara's handing me a device. Tell you what, let's kick it off, because we're heading all the way over to Brisbane, and yes, we're meeting up with a couple of Mermaid Avenues. Loving this. Here is Bones. How are we feeling, guys? We're good?
Yeah, we are good, thanks, mate.
Nice, nice. Absolute pleasure to finally catch up with you guys.
A pleasure to be here.
Brilliant.
Pleasure to be
Brilliant, brilliant.
here. Or there, wherever we are.
Yeah, believe me, you're over here. You're definitely over here. Oh, good. Look at that. Michael Zdanowicz, coming out of Galaxy Class Entertainments in Florida, Orlando, Florida too, is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Michael. It really, really is. I'm just going to try and see if I can bring up my device. There we go. Also, Bo Gregory is joining us, and Ronnie Riddle as well. Ronnie, nice to have you with us. Marion Peterson's joining us, and Don Allen. Hey, Don. Nice to have you with us. And Nick Please. Second time today. You're becoming addicted, my friend. You really, really are. Of course, you're coming out of the UK, and believe me, we're good friends. Really good friends. Today we're talking to Mermaid Avenue, and I'm excited about this. As an engineer, the first thing I wanted when I heard their music for the first time was I wanted to know more, so we're going to find out all about them, being Australian and being in Brisbane too, by the way. Haven't been in Brisbane for a little while. It's usually Melbourne. So, absolutely brilliant. Guys, how long have you been in Brisbane? How long have you been in Brisbane? All your lives, or?
Yeah. Well, I have a horrible secret. I'm actually Sydney born, but we try and play that down in the band.
Yeah, I would too. I would too. Yeah, I used to live on the North Shore, so believe me, I understand.
And I'm a Pindle boy.
Yep. Okay. But having said that, I used to play rugby league over there. But I used to play for a little town called Newcastle.
Oh, yeah. Little town.
A little town. Yeah.
Great music city in Australia. One of the great live music cities in Australia.
Absolutely, absolutely. I used to stay over there with a New Zealand iconic singer. He was actually a native of New Zealand that moved over there. His name was Prince Tuiteka, and that guy was responsible for a number of bands like Dragon, Jimmy Barnes and Cold Chisel, Johnny Farnham, Diesel. Believe me, there was a huge amount of Australian bands that went through his red shed before they went on tour, and he taught them so much that they became famous. They really did.
Love to hear more about that story.
Yeah, believe me. He taught me how to be an engineer. And whatever I learnt in university, the first thing he says is throw that away and I'll show you how to do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Him and Queenie, I owe them a lot. In fact, one of his very good friends got an OBE because of him, and he says, you know, because I'm a Maori, he says, my OBE stands for Ordinary Brown Entertainer. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're joined, coming out of Brisbane, by Mark Egan, let's get that right, and Peter Clark from the band. Of course, we're talking about Mermaid Avenue. Been playing them forever. Absolutely love these guys. Welcome to Galaxy.
Thank you very much.
It is an absolute pleasure to have you guys. It really, really is. And, well, we opened up the show with Bane, so I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't say, tell me all about it. Give me the skinny on this track.
Well, I guess essentially it's about, making up and being better in a relationship. Essentially, that's what the lyrics are really all about. It's a song, that came together pretty well with the band as is. The guys added a lot of stuff to it, the backing vocals and all that kind of stuff. But, lyrically, it's about, making up with your significant other, essentially.
And why would you be doing that? What have you done wrong?
Lots of things.
Have you met Pete?
Yeah, well, I just met him, absolutely. Now, Pete, you're the vocalist, is that right? And not only the songwriter?
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
And, of course, Mark, you're playing the bass.
I am, yes.
One of the most important people, the back line, of course, I get that, I understand that. Really.
I try to make it so in this band, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Nathan is playing the drums and Mike is a guitarist, and that rounds up the whole of Mermaid Avenue.
You've missed the lovely Casey who does our keyboards and piano.
I don't have it here. I really don't.
Casey Lee Chadwick, who was a absolutely gifted musician, does a lot about structuring of music. She's got actually formally trained in music. She's a great piano player, great backup singer, and a very valuable part of the band.
Well, I'm sorry, I really do.
I said that. You remember that I said that. You owe me.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a beer on the way for you. Absolutely. By the way, what do you drink? Postas?
No. I clean my car engine with it, though.
Yeah, fair enough too. Believe me, very first time I ever went to Australia, I walked into a bar. The barman says to me, "What do you want to drink?" I went, "A beer." So he gave me a thing with 4 X's on it. I went, "What? Can't spell beer?" He goes, "No, I can't." True story, it really was. That was down the cross too, by the way.
Well, there you go. I won't ask what you were doing there. What happens in the cross stays in the cross.
Well, Three Kings. I was at the Three. I was actually doing a show at the Three Kings, so
there you go.
Yeah, I got to stay there. I got to experience quite a bit of King's Cross, I got to admit. The very first second I got there, got off the plane, into a taxi, take me to the Three Kings Hotel, pull up, open up the door, a policeman shoots somebody in front of me. I close the door and say, "Can you take me somewhere else?" Really did happen.
It wasn't all about the crime, though. It was, at one point, it was a very vibrant Australian entertainment and music scene, the Burn on the Beach Steak and a whole bunch of other places that helped create Australian, what we call pub rock.
Absolutely, and believe me, that's why I was there to be a part of that too. I used to work with a band, I don't know whether you would know them, they were called Noiseworks.
No. Have we heard of Noiseworks? No.
Okay, well...
My wife may have a crush on John Stevens.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I went to university with John.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I've known him very, very well for many, many years. I really have. He still owes me for a video that I helped him record the music for way back in the day. It was called Montego Bay.
That was the All-Nighters.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he rang me up and he says, "Listen, I'm doing a video. We're doing it on the Picton Ferry, going from Wellington to Picton, and I don't have an engineer." I went, "Why, what happened to your engineer?" He goes, "He's got appendicitis, so I need an engineer." Yeah. So I get in my car down into Dunedin, drive all the way up to the top of the South Island, catch up with these guys, away we go. We start making the movie, everything like that. Within, I don't know, about 20 minutes of finishing it and docking at the bay, he was off somewhere, haven't seen him again for about 15 years, and then I got a job, and guess what my job was? Be his engineer. Do you think we had
could have just pulled his vocals till he paid you?
Well, the thing was they had all the gear. All I had to do was just do all the engineering and everything. So it was all packed up and taken away without me even, we were sitting at the bar going, yeah, that was a good thing, and I'm waiting for him to pull out some money. Where's John? Hadn't seen him for about 15 years, but then I got a request to come over and do some work and work with a band. Wasn't really well known at the time, called Noiseworks, and I went, okay, I've never heard of these guys, but fair enough, you're going to pay me. I was with Frontier Touring at the time, and went over there, and well, what do you know? John, you owe me money, bro. He goes, I thought you'd forgotten about it. No, I'm like an elephant.
Has forgotten about money.
Exactly. Clumsiness of a clever man. That sounds exactly like me.
Right.
Tell me about this. Where did you come up with this?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of in the title about what it's really about. It's a bit about being a bit of a, one being a bit of a nerd, a bit of a geek, I guess is probably the best way. And then, counterposing that against, being smart in a lot of, other areas in life, and being not so smart about, love and, relationships and those kind of things. So it's just that, I guess it's that sort of, juxtaposition between those two things. And I thought, it was a cool line anyway. Clumsiness of a clever man, and obviously built the lyrics around that.
So, tell me, Pete, is this a biography?
Well,
I'm kind of getting the feeling it might be.
Writers, there's always an element of biography in there, but it's not always.
Vibe-wise, that song always spoke to me. It reminded me of Mayor of Simpleton by XTC. It had that same sort of vibe about a fella not doing well.
Yeah.
To the point I even tried to make the bass line sound a little bit like XTC, just to tip a hat to a great band.
Absolutely. And
I think most guys most people have felt that way at some point in their life, that they've got everything else sorted out, but they just can't, work it out, how, their love life, basically.
I get it. I really do. Yeah. By the way, 1,233 requests so far since we've been playing it, so not doing too bad. Here is Mermaid Avenue coming out of Brisbane, Australia, and Clumsiness of a Clever Man. Ah, dear. Gosh, it's hot in here. Really is. How you guys feeling? You okay?
Yeah, look, we're in a nice big room. This is our rehearsal room in my house, so it's big and it's airy and quite comfortable.
Nice. By the way, you guys, none of you guys are vegans, are you?
Yes, one of our people is. Mike, the guitarist, is a community vegan.
Okay, all right. Perfect to ask then. Because I'm trying to come to the bottom of the myth, and I've been trying this for years. Nobody gives me a straight answer, really. It's like NASA, never a straight answer. Yeah. Has anybody ever tried a vegan sausage?
No, nobody in this room at the moment, but I'm sure Mike's consumed many of them.
Okay, are they made of real vegans or not?
How many vegans does it take to make a link of sausages, though?
Well, this is what I'm trying to find out.
Because they tend to be fairly skinny and malnutrition. You want somebody like me with heaps of fat and marbling.
Exactly. You want some good stuff. You really do.
What's it? Sorry.
Jeez, Barbara.
Really loud.
You didn't turn it up very well.
Everything's my fault today.
You're in control of the volumes. Dear. Honestly, the reason why I'm asking is I know that Girl Guide biscuits aren't made of real Girl Guides, which is upsetting. But
I'm never buying them again.
Yeah, true story. I was doing an interview with a representative, an executive of Johnson & Johnson. Right. So I knew that I was going to be doing this interview, so I went down the road and I bought myself a bottle of this product. And as we're doing it, I hold up the bottle and I says to him, "Can you tell me honestly?" He says, "Baby, you all right?" He goes, "Yep." I says, "So how many babies goes in a bottle?" I was blacklisted from that moment onwards, honestly. They won't return my calls, my emails, nothing. No. Believe me. So, unfortunately, I was politically incorrect on that one.
Oh, dear.
It happens, it really does. Sonny Morgan's joining us. Nice to have you on board, Sonny. It really is. And Elvis Garden is watching as well. Nice to have you on board. It really
Hey guys.
Yeah, believe me, it's fun. It really is. Don Allen says, well, good morning.
He's in Brisbane.
He's in Brisbane.
Oh, he has been.
He has been in Brisbane. Yeah.
Ah.
There you go. No kangaroos over your way?
Kangaroos?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a few. The suburb that we both live in is semi-rural with a little bit of bush land around, so you see some small kangaroos and wallabies around. Unfortunately, some of them dead on the roads. We were just talking about the snakes we've been having around because it's springtime and all the good stuff.
We're Kiwis, we don't have snakes.
Yeah.
You know, the most dangerous thing we have is a spider.
Yeah.
I don't know, we both played rugby against you guys. We think the most dangerous you got are your forwards.
Yeah, well, that's true
They
too.
said they weren't going to talk about rugby.
Yeah, she says you weren't going to talk about rugby.
Yeah, it's true.
There's me breaking the rules again. I'm such a rebel.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Hi, Jeff.
I'm just trying to control the dog.
Oh,
Hold on.
hi, D10.
It's not bad. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Heidi Tan is joining us. Heidi! Hello, Heidi. Welcome back, sweetheart. It's nice to have you. Jeff Bateson's joining us as well. Looking forward to meeting you, Sarah, in the very, very near future as well. And believe me, absolute brilliant to have everybody on board this morning. It really, really is. Heading over to Brisbane. These guys are coming into summer soon, so I'm going to ask them what their plans are for the festivals and stuff like that. Only 105 days away from Christmas. Start to think about it. Oh dear. That's right. You're right. Here we go. It's 107 FM. Helps if you turn the mic on, apparently. They were telling me, listen to the headphones, turn your mic on. Too busy talking to everybody on Facebook and, of course, to our very, very good guests. We're talking to Pete and to Mark from the band Mermaid Avenue. Now, guys, where did the name come from?
Well, we'd love to say there was something
In the water.
prophetic about it. And a lot of, as anybody who's in a band who's listening will know, the hardest part of being in any band is selecting the name. And the name of this band predates my joining it. The fellow who was on bass before me, John Doyle, actually selected the band name.
Yeah.
And people think it comes from an avenue on the Gold Coast or something to do with that. It's actually to do with an album by Wilco and Billy Bragg.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
it's named after Billy, very great actors, and Wilco, of course, a great influence on us because of the style of music and how they present themselves.
Very, very cool. Now, believe me, I know what it's like to try and choose a name. I really, really do. Just recently, we've formulated a company in another country, and of course, we're Galaxy, right? So we say, hey, listen, Galaxy, da-da-da-da-da. They went, no, we got too many galaxies. Come up with another name. So in the end, would you believe my dog actually chose the name? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, really. Let me run you through this. About 9 o'clock at night, 9:30 at night, I get into work. I have to go past reception to get to my office, and I pick up about 3 USBs. The receptionist, Sarah, leaves out for me at night. One's the stats that we've done for our performances for the day. The next one is emails and important messages, reminders, I've got to pay wages, all that sort of stuff. And the last one is simply called noise, which is basically our audience requesting artists per track per artist, you know what I mean? And I take that into production about 1:30 in the morning, and me and the guys in production, we put together the morning breakfast show. It's done primarily around that. Now, at the same time, and believe me, I see your name on there every morning, and I have done since we've started playing Love Day number 9, to be very honest with you. So it's always there. Now, I'm sitting in production. The boys have gone out for a coffee break, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And I'm sitting in production looking at the computers and everything like this, thinking, okay, this is what we got to do today, structure everything. And I was told earlier on in one of my emails that the name that we had chosen had been rejected because we have too many of this. Choose another name. And I'm thinking, now, what the heck? How am I going to come up with a name? They want something out of the box, basically, that everybody's got all the good names, apparently. That was what was said to me. So, okay, fair enough. And I'm thinking, well, I'll ask AI what they think, right? Try and use modern day technology. Let's get on top of it. So I asked AI and they came up with all these weird things that was just illegible and had no bearing on anything we're doing. So I sort of sitting there scratching my head as the door was partially open. I usually leave it partially open for the dog to go out, have its whatever out in the fields out the back, and then come back into the studios and wander down the hallway, makes its way, because it always knows that I'm in production at a certain time, so it'll come and sit with me. And it knocked the door open, but not harshly like it normally does. It comes bolting through. It's a big pit bullish kind of dog. It just has no sense of what's gentle and what isn't, right? But this time it just knocked it and the door squeaked like crazy. And I thought, CRC. First thing I thought of, CRC. So I'm sitting there thinking about this. Then I thought, squeaky door. Now there's something different, right? And I'm looking at media at the time, so I text Barbara about 3 o'clock in the morning. I says, I've got it. Let's try squeaky door media, right? What do you know? The government over in this particular country said, done, you've got it.
Nice.
So, yes, I know what it's like trying to come up with a name that's just damn near impossible. It really is. And I'll tell you more about the new country, because this is relevant to you guys, and it means a lot, not only to us, but it's more what we're doing over in this country is structured primarily for indie artists, and it's very, very important. It really is, because believe me, you stand to make a huge, huge amount of following, because they've only been listening to one kind of music for 55 years, have never heard anything outside their own country.
Really?
Really. And it's not too far away from you. Put it that way.
Kissing game.
Yeah, you're close.
Asia, Indonesia.
Well, Asia, yes, you're right, but you're getting close.
Close, right.
You're getting close, okay?
Papua New Guinea?
Well, actually, we do have a deal happening with Papua New Guinea as well, especially in Port Moresby.
My dad lived and worked there many years ago.
Yeah, believe me. We've got a member of Parliament over there that wants us to do something with them over there, so we'll see what happens, what transpires. But believe me, I'll give you the story after this, and believe it's like honestly, it's like a fairy tale. I've got to be straight up with you. Barbara and I were on the in the car on the way home from coming back from overseas. We're driving home, and Barbara looked at me, and I looked at her, and we both went, "Did that really happen?" It's really like a fairy tale, but yeah, it did. And believe me, everything's about to explode in this country in the next couple of months. It really is.
Awesome.
Jody Medford is joining us. Jody, I love the trout. I really do. You're very, very good at catching trout. You really are. John Mooch. Oh, Joan. Joan is watching as well. Nice to have you back, Joan. It really will. Been a while. It has been. Today we're talking to Mermaid Avenue, and Embers of Fire's gone. It sounds like you've, stoked up the fire after a good night on the beach or something. What's going on here?
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of a country number, probably the best way to think about it. And it started off as a pretty traditional country song, I guess. Like old style. I don't know, maybe trying to think like maybe not quite Johnny Cash style, but that kind of thing.
Dwight Yoakam?
Dwight Yoakam, yeah, maybe, yeah. And obviously got twisted a little bit more rocky, but lyrically, look, it's not about me for starters. That's good. Not directly anyway, but it's about basically about a jilted lover, essentially. And sort of imagine yourself. It's actually about being like, those guys you see in the pubs, cover artist guys playing acoustic guitars, and trying to impress whoever it is who jilted them, basically. So essentially it's about that, and then obviously about trying to hold on to what's gone. Hence the Embers of Fire's gone.
And it's the only song we've ever had get an E against it for explicit lyrics.
There's an explicit lyric, yes. It's the only one.
on the what is it, Spotify?
Spotify, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got explicit lyrics.
Yes.
You know
warn
something?
your listeners, it's pretty,
So beep out when he says, keep your beep to yourself.
Yeah, well, fair enough. We are actually classed as an E station as well, to be very honest with you.
No, good.
Yep.
We find it hard to believe, mate.
Yeah,
You seem like such a saint.
Yeah, no, believe me, we are. We're E for everyone. You're right here at Galaxy. Here's Mermaid Avenue. You're right here. I've even got the boys in production laughing there. You're right here.
26.
I'm sorry?
It's up to 27.
It's up to 26.
There you go.
There you go, you winning.
What, Nick?
And Nick. Okay.
Temperature lower.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm winning.
we have
Oh, no.
big battles over the temperature here, literally. I mean, Barbara lives on a farm a number of kilometres away. Last night she was texting me going, "It is absolutely bucketing down here." I'm looking outside going, "No."
Sunshine.
We have a different weather cell from here, if you know what I mean.
Only
Yeah,
50k
okay.
away.
So-
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, we're not too far away. You see, we're covered around by hills, and she's on
Yeah.
farmland, so, I mean,
Up on the
Of course.
hills.
and she's up high, so. And she gets a sea breeze. In fact, she gets to see a volcano every morning as she comes to work.
Yeah, White Island.
That's interesting. My wife usually erupts at me every morning too.
Yeah, I can sympathise. I've got the same deal going on.
Jack.
I got to be careful. She's right there. By the way, how many countries have turned in?
Well, 158 now.
158 now. Okay, how many cities?
You didn't ask that last
I
time.
didn't ask that last time. No.
No.
You want to bring up that screen for me?
6318.
Okay, 6,318 cities around the world are tuned in right now.
Wow, that's insane.
No, it's about average.
No, it's 19.
Congratulations. That took a lot of work to get there, I can assume, mate. So well done to you and your team.
We've been doing this for about 10 years, and if it wasn't
So have we.
if it wasn't for you guys, you know, artists like yourselves, you tell your friends, and your friends tune in, and before you know it, your friends are getting in touch with us saying, "Hey, we got a band as well." Barbara gets about 200 submissions a day, and we've got to be vicious. So we only take the best of the best, and you guys ticked all those boxes.
That is wonderful to hear, mate. Thank you.
And we only forward onto the magazine the cream of that, and we would like to do that. I want to talk to you about it.
Thank you.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and well, would you believe it? Today we're talking to not one, but two members of Mermaid Avenue. Of course, we're talking to Pete and to Mark, and such a pleasure to be able to talk to these men. It really, really is. Now, what made you guys get into music in the first place? What was the big deal?
For me, well, I started playing in bands probably about it's from about 20 years ago now. By accident, really. A mate of mine at the time I was writing. I started writing lyrics first, like writing, probably bad poetry. And a mate of mine came across a book of them, and he was a drummer, or was starting to be a drummer, and he was forming a band, and they needed a singer, and also someone to actually write some words. So he basically convinced me to give it a crack. I couldn't sing, couldn't do anything. I was absolutely terrible, And I still remember sitting out on, I think it was the bass player in the band's little sort of back veranda, and being the first time being forced to sing out loud while one of the other guys played a guitar. And that's how I started, and sort of went gradually from there. Eventually taught myself how to sing better, and eventually taught myself how to play guitar. Like when I was in that same band, one of the guitarists left, so the other guitarist said, "Here you go, learn to play this thing." And again, I didn't have a clue. So that's how I started, just trial and error, basically. Mark had a bit more, I guess, a bit more experience than me, but you came up through a different scene, though.
Yeah, I did. I came up through the Brisbane covers scene. I played in pub rock bands. I had a big Motown band for a while. I've been playing guitar since I was a teen. I was one of those troubled teens, and an aunt threw me a guitar and said, "This might help you sort your stuff out," which it did. And just, grew up in the Brisbane music scene with a lot of good people and great people.
Mark,
Stepped into the indie world, the original world, when I joined this band.
Mark, I think everybody starts off doing covers. Everybody except Sid Vicious, would you believe? He went straight into being just abnormal, I've got to be honest with you. But everybody cuts their teeth, literally, on doing covers and stuff like that. And you know something? There's some fantastic covers out there.
There are.
There really, really is. And believe me, I have bands that come out with original music all the time, and then from time to time they throw in a cover at me, and it's like, that's brilliant. It really is. In fact, there's a band coming out of Melbourne by the name of Gen 2. And check this out. They've done a couple of covers, I've got to be honest. I like their originals, but I also like their covers. The first one they sent me was a song called Royals by Lord.
Oh, yes.
Right? Now, I know Lord, and so I did the interview with these guys, and at the end of the interview, one of them said to me, "You know Lord?" I went, "Yeah." He says, "Would you pass this on to her, see what her opinion is, get her to get in touch with us, see if, we can get some pointers." I went, "Sure." So the next time I ran into Lord, I actually played her this track, sat her down, we're having a good time, and I says to her, "This is pretty good." And she goes, "Yeah, it is pretty good." Then I turn around and says, "They want to talk to you. Do you want, few pointers? Would you like to work with them?" She goes, "Yeah, okay." I says, "Cool. I'll let them know that I think it's better than your version." She's never rung them. I think I jinxed it.
Deal killer.
Yeah, I think it was. I wasn't being facetious. I actually did think it was better than her version. That was the problem. And so I just let it out of the bag, and, now she's in Japan, I think, doing something over there. Anyway, Fear of a Bleeding Heart. Now, who's got the bleeding heart?
Before we go into this, we've talked about bones and we're talking about fear of bleeding heart. I should let you know that Pete is actually a doctor by profession, so he knows these bits of the body quite intimately.
I was wondering about this. We were going, through anatomy stuff here. But what sort of doctor are you?
I'm just a GP, like a general family doctor.
Oh, okay, the one that doesn't get it right. Yeah, I got it. Believe me, you go along and I want a couple of days off work. I got a back complaint.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm trying to get him to release a song called Turn Left and Cough.
Yeah, well, and let me grab. Yeah. Hey.
This doesn't look good.
Having said that, bones and fear of a bleeding heart, they're not really about medical conditions.
No, this is true. But congratulations for being a doc. And, we need more of you people over, maybe we need you more over here than over there.
Yeah.
You know what I
He
mean?
worked hard to get there, guys. He did it as an adult. He didn't do it as a kid straight out of school.
As a muso, you have to have a plan B. So someone to pay the bills. So
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, I believe me, Peter. I understand. I really, really do. At the same time, I got to let you know. I envy you for being able to teach yourself to be a singer and everything like that. I cannot sing. Believe me, when I was a kid, my father, everything that I was singing, he said to me literally, "Sing like Elvis, boy." And that just stuffed me up because everything I sing now is just like Elvis.
Like
You know what I
Elvis,
mean?
yeah.
Did you say thank you very much?
Yeah, well, I said something else that was more like, it started with a W, not a thank. Literally. But I'm sure my parents did that deliberately to show me, you know, you're just not going to be a rock star, really. Literally. In fact, the very first concert I ever went to, my mother took me. She won a competition. Guess who it was? Gary Glitter.
Oh, right.
Well, as long as she didn't take you backstage.
No, believe me, that didn't happen. But, you know, fantastic show. He really was a fantastic artist in his own right at the height of what he was doing.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, that instantly told me I can't do that. But I wanted to be in music, so I ended up being an engineer and getting involved in radio, and, well, I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Literally, still doing it. But having said that, I've worked with some of the best radio stations in this country and in some of yours as well, and around the world. Also been a front of house engineer for many, many years with some of the biggest bands in the world, and worked in some of the more prestigious recording studios around the world as well. So my career has taken me a long way. In fact, I used to do a show in a place called the Opera House with a Kiwi band called Crowded House. Remember that show?
I've heard of both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately you guys wouldn't let us in the bloody stadium. They found out we were Kiwis and said, no, you're doing it outside, which we did. We did. We packed the place. Really did. And I think we got more of an audience outside than what we would have inside.
It's an iconic place to play. Finn Lizzy played there, so you know.
Yep, well, they wouldn't let us in the door. Literally. Guys are Kiwis, aren't you? That's it. There you go. Ah, dear. It takes us back to an apple and pear board kind of thing, doesn't it? Literally. Now, guys, fair for a bleeding heart, we better get this underway because we're running out of time. So you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM today, joined by not one, but two members of the band, Mermaid Avenue. Do you guys like to think out of the box? Are you guys, you know, Australians that like to think about things that are possibly impossible?
I'm an IT project manager. That's my job description.
Okay, well, try this one. Can you imagine if your knees bent in the opposite direction as to what they do now, how interesting chairs would be?
Exactly. I've never seen a duck sit on that chair.
No, exactly. There you go. In the Second World War, the Japanese...
This is why he's paid the big bucks.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Well, he might be able to answer
That'll be
this.
$100, thank you.
Well, $75 for your plug. In the Second World War, the Japanese suicide pilots, the kamikazes, or if you're French, the kamikaze, these guys knew they were going to die, right? Why the hell did they give them crash helmets?
Good point.
Good point.
I like to think of the impossible things, like if you've got your Ford flying through space at the speed of light and you turn the lights on, would they work?
Why do they keep rockets firing when you see the space shows the spaceships going forward? Why are the things still firing back? They don't need to.
No, exactly. Exactly that. Man can measure the speed of light, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how fast is darkness?
Oh, I'm going to annoy my kids with these.
Yeah, look, I go around to a friend's place on a Sunday, have a few beers and talk some shit, if you know what I mean. And you know, and he's got his grandkids that come up, and they say, "Where the heck do you get all of these dad jokes from, Uncle Grant?" I'm going, from my database.
Yes.
So yeah, it's up there with what was the best thing before sliced bread?
What? There you go. Yeah, unsliced. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I could get rude here. But I'm
No, we're
going
not.
to.
This is a
Family show.
general
It's a
show.
family show.
show.
Yep, absolutely. We're rated E for everybody.
We've got some ladies watching. Hi, Jodie.
I know we've got some ladies watching. That's why I'm being a
Joan.
good boy.
Oh, let's come back.
Dear, oh dear. I used to be a stand-up comedian, and I worked for a band that we went around the world. About 3 years we worked for this band,
No, this silly
and we had 3 stages. We used to leapfrog each other, right? Fairly big band. You would recognise it if I told you the name, but I'm not going to. Anyway, we were allotted in groups of 10, and we all had a valet for each of us. You know what I mean? For our lot of 10. But we all liked to try and dump these guys and get the hell out because they liked us going to the shows, you know, the group meets and greets and all the dignitary stuff, the museums and art shows.
Yeah,
We wanted to see what the streets were like, right? So we would dump these guys. Anyway, we got to Amsterdam, and I managed to dump this person, and I'm running across this big open square, and there was a church and everything like this, and this building had some stairs, and at the top of the stairs it said country dancing, traditional country dancing. So I thought, well, we've just come from Texas, let's go up and have a look. And there were people clogging, right? I will tell you more about it. Hold on. That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I'm halfway through a story actually. Yeah, literally, I was in Amsterdam, went running across this courtyard, and because I've got rid of this guy, and I ran up these stairs, and at the top of the stairs it said traditional country dancing, so I go running in there, thinking that, you know, we've just come from Texas, let's get some boot scooting going on, and here's all of these people in traditional garb, literally it was bright, colourful, everything like this, in wooden shoes, dancing at the most ridiculous speeds, I've got to be honest, with wooden shoes, on highly polished floors, and I'm thinking, there's a catastrophe about to happen any minute now, you know, it just, wow, and there was hundreds of them, there was huge amounts of people in there, all doing it, the noise was phenomenal, it really was, but it was all in time. It was well constructed, it really was. And this young lady, she couldn't have been more than 18 years of age. Bright blue eyes, you know, blonde hair, comes up, traditional garb, and she looks at me and bats her eyes and she goes, "Do you clog?" Now, I'm a Kiwi, guys, come on. All
Yeah,
right.
leave it.
Yeah, no, only if I eat too much cheese. Yeah, the end of that story. Literally, I didn't get a date with her, but believe me, it really did happen. Love Day number 9, guys. This is your most requested track, and 3,755 requests. Believe me, but we have been playing it for a minute. Everybody loves this track. Why is this so successful?
Good question.
Well, I think as a song, it's a little left of centre in what we've delivered by rhythm and by melody.
Yeah.
I personally really love the story. A lot of Pete's songs have good stories, so and I'll let him tell the story of what it's about. But I think it's just got an infectious alternative, almost alternative pop beat, which is unusual for us. We tend to veer off the road every now and then from style, and this is one of those ones. And I really loved recording this one. So we had a great time in the studio with this one.
Yeah.
Tell them what it's about, because it's not a happier story as it sounds.
Yeah, it's always happy. Yeah, the lyrics are probably a bit darker than the music would indicate. Well, it's actually, the lyrics are actually about my great-grandfather, who was an Italian migrant to Australia, and so he fought, you know, in the First World War, you know, obviously for Italy, and obviously in the First World War, the Italians were on in inverted commas, the right side of the equation. But he came down here sort of in the 30s, late sort of 20s and 30s, and, you know, worked and moved his family out and everything like that. But then when the Second World War started, I guess like a few other countries, in Australia, the government rounded up essentially, all the Italians, all the Germans, any Japanese, I guess they could find, and sent them off to internment camps. Basically, essentially lock them up for the duration of the war. And where he got sent was in South Australia. There's a camp called Loveday Camp 9. So that's where the title comes from, Loveday Number 9. This was Loveday Camp 9. So he was there for about 4 years, and separated from his wife and young family. And when he came back, he was never, the same person. Basically, he was, traumatized by it essentially. So it's a bit of a bleak tale, I guess. But it's
But it's a toe tapper.
yeah, it's a toe tapper.
It
Also,
really is.
There's also the other reason I wrote it was it's a bit of a forgotten part of Australian history. Not many people in Australia know about that happening. So but I'm very happy that people like the song in general. But if it prompts them to have a little bit more listen to the lyrics, that'd be great as well. But it's, a song is a song, whether it's has a bit of a message. So I'm really happy that it's been your number one, a number one request over there. So that's great.
Well, it's certainly a number one request for you guys, literally, because as I say to you, I can't get through a breakfast show without seeing your name. And, well, guess what? Love Day number 9, rocking around again here at Galaxy. Man, I've got sweat running off me. It's hot in here. I want to find out what you guys are doing for summer, because we're coming into summer very shortly. So, you got anything planned for festivals and stuff like that? I'll ask that, because we're about to wrap this up. But don't go anywhere, because the girls are going to take some photos and bits and pieces. You'll get a copy of everything we do. And Barbara's going to put it into a movie for you. And got to ask you, have you guys been a cartoon before?
Of a degree, I used a cartoon filter on one of our film clips to make myself look a little less
Australian?
dorky, I was going.
Sorry, I had to throw that one in there.
Yes, but not an actual cartoon.
Okay, well, Barbara will probably throw you a couple of cartoon pickies as well. She's good at doing them. She likes making fun of me, if you know what I mean. She goes, you've got the perfect face to make fun of, so she does. And she'll put all of that into a movie as well. Now, what I usually say is, sure enough, show it to friends and family. They'll automatically love it because it's you. You know what I mean? But I usually say, show it to people you don't like.
Yeah.
Two reasons. Hell of a good boast, really is. Second reason is, well, usually that puts a fire under their tuchus and they're getting in touch with us as well,
I have an idea. Pete can play it in the at work.
Oh, Pete can play it at work.
Yeah.
Well, as an
So all the
anaesthetic.
patients, so all the patients can watch it
So
while
you
they're
can lull them
waiting.
all to sleep before he operates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quick, let's get his wallet. We'll subtract that out first.
So, guys, what we'll do is we've got a bit of nowhere near the social media following that you've got. We'll put it up on our social media. We've already advertised it. We talked to you guys today. We'll put it up on the YouTube channel, on the various social media pieces.
Yeah,
And if you
I'll
want to
put it
talk
up on
about good
YouTube.
Australian bands, we've got a bunch of people we can recommend to you. There's so much good stuff out at the moment.
Well,
Sweet,
talk
sweet.
to me about
So,
it.
yeah, talk to Barbara about it because we always want your music. We really, really do. So keep that
Okay,
coming. And we'd love to do follow-up interviews and stuff like that with you guys as well.
We'd love to be involved.
If you can put up with an old Kiwi like me.
And everyone else.
And believe me, you guys have got to come up with some good Kiwi jokes against me. Come on.
Oh, okay. Why do all the trees in Melbourne bend towards the Pacific Ocean?
I don't know why.
Because New Zealand sucks.
Yeah, well, there you go. Isn't that why all the seagulls fly upside down over Melbourne? They ain't worth shitting on?
As a Brisbaneite, you can say it all you like.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't say Brisbane. I was going to say Sydney, but wow. Yeah. What's those big holes all the way through Australia? Oh, that's the place where the elephants
Behave
landed.
yourself. Come on, stop it.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Wayne Spring is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Wayne. Renita Zental is joining us from the band Renzita. Absolutely love their work. Clayton Dye is joining us as well. Hello, buddy. Nice to have you on board. And Xavier Vargas is joining us as well. Absolutely packed house today. Now, got about a couple more questions before we move on and let you guys go. First of all, of course, we know that you're going to be able to say yes to this. We really do. But how, as a fan, do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, all of that sort of stuff? More importantly, I have a fan that wants to know, do you have merch? Can we buy merch? So can you answer those ones for me?
We can indeed. Yes, we're on all the socials and we'll make those available. Just look for Mermaid Avenue Band. .com, which is our website, and on that you'll see links to all our socials and including our merch shop. There we go, I'm even wearing some for today. And all reasonably priced. Some of it designed by Casey, our keyboard player, some of it direct from our single and album covers, stubbies, hats, t-shirts, all that stuff that sort of helps us pay for our recording.
Absolutely brilliant. Now, at the same time, now that I know you got merch, I'm going to hit you up for a t-shirt at least so that I can promote your band and promote your brand while I'm doing these. And believe me, that's not a silly question because a number of people have said to me, Grant, you know, I've been watching your interviews on the interwebby thing, but I noticed who you were wearing at the same time, went on board, bought myself a couple of caps, a couple of koozies, and what do you know, I got a t-shirt as well. So it does work. So if you want to get in touch with Barbara and toss a t-shirt my way, I would be honoured to wear one of your brands.
Let us know your size and we'll send it to you.
I'll get Barbara to do that. I really will, and give you addresses, everything like that. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, coming into summertime, we're not too far away. Any gigs coming up for the summer period?
As you may have heard, the festival industry in Australia is in strife. It's struggling. Mm-hmm. We're seeing the last Blues Fest next year. Caloundra Music Festival, who I've always been a supporter of, have gone under. So the festival environment's become very competitive. And you're not just competing with other indies, you're competing with legacy acts and overseas acts. So it's very difficult to get across that. And we understand that. We get nice replies from all the festivals, but yeah, we've only really played Mullaney, the one down for the bushfire relief. So our festival experience is low. We do play local gigs, but we've also decided that we're going to start album number 5 soon. So we'll be in the studios most of the time because old mate here's coming up with 20 songs, so it's going to be a double album.
Absolutely brilliant.
Just because, you know, we don't work hard enough on his songs, we've got to come up with 20 bits of music.
Well, I'm liking that, I really, really am. Tell you what, how would you like to send me a couple of CDs or something? We'd do a Mermaid Avenue giveaway.
Yeah, we can do that.
Brilliant.
And we've got our new album. Well, our new album's going to be out in next.
Let's say 2 months. Let's say 2 months. It was supposed to be.
This is number 4, isn't it? We're not talking number 5.
This is
Jacaranda.
We've actually got a new single out in this week. It's called "She'll Come Down When She's Ready." So that'll be available on all the usual streaming platforms as well. So you can check that out.
And also, all our music is available for free from our website.
Yes.
The commercial side of it is a difficult one for indie bands. So instead of expecting all our friends wanted to pay for stuff, we make it available for free download. It's a fully professional studio mixed version of the song, recorded at Ian Hope from Powderfinger Studios here in Sanford, and produced by Jason Millhouse of Record Works. He's a great engineer, so as I'm sure you picked up when you've heard his work. So we will make sure we have that stuff available for you.
You know, I was very, very happy you said that. I really was, because I was actually going to ask you to give a plug for your recording studios and everything like that. Being an engineer myself, never get enough recognition as engineers, so well done. And also to you, all of your support people that follow behind you guys, they do such a good job keeping you guys doing what you're doing. And believe me, they never get enough praise as well. Having said that, guys, we're going to have to wrap it up right now, but please don't go anywhere because we've still got a couple of things we want to do. But thank you so much, and I would love it if you would consider sending us some more of your new music and coming back for another interview.
Sure, we would love to. Thank you very much for having us.
Absolute honour, my friends. It really, really is, and looking forward to following your careers as we go through this, and believe me, I think you're going to be interested in the numbers that I'm going to give you next on how many devices. We don't know how many people there are. It could be 10, it could be 1, but we know how many devices are hooked into this interview, and we'll give you those numbers very shortly. In the meantime, that does wrap it up for us here at Galaxy. Join me and Barbara back on the breakfast show between 5:30 in the morning and 10. Have a very happy and successful day. From Barbara, it's goodbye. From me, happy radio, everyone.